What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And look, I know initially I said I'm not doing a Michael Jordan build because everybody that does 2K builds are going to be doing a Michael Jordan build. And then I thought about it. I'm like, I'm telling these guys, look, I'm doing the greatest players from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and I'm leaving off what many people consider to be the greatest, and he happened to play in that era. It just, to me, guys, I felt like, that's not doing right by my channel. That's not doing justice. If I'm going to be making those players from those eras, you gotta make a Michael Jordan build. There's just no way around it. And the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? Because Michael Jordan, I mean, he's he's a guy that you could do two separate builds on. You know, because there was a first three-peat Jordan and a second three-peat Jordan. Those two Jordans, while they both had that same killer mindset, they went about it an entirely different way. So after thinking about that, I was like, you know what? That's right. I'm going to do two separate Jordan builds. Not in this video because I don't want it to be terribly long, but I'm going to do another video later on down the road. But let's get into it, guys, because listen, there's not a whole lot that I can say about Michael Jordan that you haven't already heard, you know. So when we look at the pie charts, guys, I mean, this to me is the perfect first three-peat Michael Jordan pie chart. Well, I shouldn't say perfect because you're going to be missing some of that mid-range, and that post fade that he while it wasn't quite as developed as it was, in that second three-peat, it was still there. It was still deadly. Um, you're not going to have the 3-point shooting that Jordan had. I know that a lot of people, say Jordan couldn't shoot the threes, but I mean, ask the '92 Portland Trailblazers about that. They saw that Jordan, he was deadly from the perimeter when he wanted to be or when he needed to be. Um, so yeah, I mean, we're just going to go with this, guys, because look, we want that finishing. Now, that first three, Pete, that was after those Detroit Bad Boys, and that was after they beat him up for back-to-back seasons. And Jordan was like, you know what? I'm going to come back next year, and I'm going to be stronger than I was ever before. And the problem with that is they forced what many had already considered to be the greatest player in the game at that time, and they forced him to get better. So when you take someone that's already, considered to be great and the best of that era, and you make them get even better, well, that's what made MJ the GOAT, guys. You can congratulate and thank the Detroit Pistons, or you can blame them because they created that monster that is Jordan. And me personally, I blame them because I was a Barkley and Olajuwon fan, and guess what? They didn't win no rings when Jordan was playing. They just didn't. Olajuwon got his two while Jordan was away playing baseball, and well, unfortunately, Barkley he never got one. So with that, guys, we're going to do the well balanced physical chart. Now look, you're doing a Michael Jordan build, guys. So this is all going to be maxed. The top four definitely going to be maxed. This, I'm going to put up one more just to get that one extra finishing badge. Mid-range, you got to have a mid-range game, guys. You got to be able to shoot mid-range and post fade. Now, guys, if you're not somebody that plays my career and you don't really need that free throw shooting, you just take it to the park and don't even worry about this. This is for those guys that play my career, that play the rec. You want that free throw shooting, so you're going to go ahead and max that out too. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to move down here. I'm going to go ahead and put perimeter defense, lateral quickness, and steal. I'm going to max that out. Okay, that's all I'm touching there. I'm going to go back up to here. I'm going to put post control all the way up. I'm going to put ball handling all the way up, and then the rest I'm putting on pass accuracy. Now, where does that leave us, guys? Okay. Now we know once we get to 99, we're going to be able to get a +4 to all of our attributes. So let's look at that, okay? We're going to be pretty decent, guys. Let's go ahead, though, before we look at that, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead. Now, I know Jordan a lot of times was listed at 198 and other times was listed at 212. I'm going to go somewhere in the middle. I'm going to go right where it puts us at, which is 208. Because you go up one, you gain strength, but you lose speed. You go down one, you get that one speed back. And while Jordan did get stronger, I feel like he was still pretty fast. So we want to keep as much of that speed as possible. We're going to max out the wingspan. So let's look at this, guys, okay? So with where we're at now, we know that we're going to get a +4 to all of our attributes once we reach 99. So that's good. Our close shot's going to be 96. Our driving layup's going to be 94. Our driving and standing dunk are both going to be 99. That's Michael Jordan's finishing, guys. It just is. That Michael Jordan was a finisher, and you've definitely got that with this build. Now, where you are lacking is that mid-range shot is only going to be a 68. But here's the thing, guys. Look, at 2K21, it would be hard to knock down a mid-range shot with 64, But 2K22, it's a little bit easier. You're going to make some of those. You're going to be able to hit 40, 50, 60% of those mid-range shots if you take the smart shot. So, if you play smart with this build, you're going to be able to knock down those mid-range shots. You're going to have that post fade to 74. Again, if you play smart, you're going to be able to knock those down. Okay? Your free throw shooting, it's going to be an 84. You're going to be good. Okay, pass accuracy is going to be a 69, but guess what, guys? Jordan never passed the ball. He was a finisher. He never passed the ball. And I know that, there's going to be people that's probably going to be like, well, there was a stint of like 9 or 10 games where Jordan played point guard and he averaged like 11 assists and was getting triple. I get that. When he was asked to do that, he could certainly pass the ball. But guess what? Jordan was very seldom asked to pass the ball. Because when you got the best player on the planet, you want him to take those shots. It's just, Phil Jackson was a smart coach, a great coach, and he was smart enough to know that. But you're going to have a decent pass, a 69 pass accuracy. That's decent. Ball control is going to be a 78. Now your post control is going to be a little bit lacking at just 71. But again, guys, if you play smart with this build, you're going to be able to do all right with it. You just got to play smart with it, and you've got all those finishing badges or those playmaking badges that you're going to be able to use to help that out a little bit. So. Don't look at the number and think, well, that's where we're at, because remember you've got some badges to help that along a little bit. Now on the defensive end, you're Jordan through and through. You're that early Jordan that was getting Defensive Player of the Year awards and getting those all defensive first teams. You're going to have a perimeter defense of 92, lateral quickness of 90, and a steal of 96. I mean that's you're not going to have the blocking ability that Jordan did, because Jordan, for a guard, he did get a lot of blocks and things. But, you can't have everything on a 2K build. You just can't. So, we're going to work with what we've got, guys. We're going to go in and look, guys. I mean, yeah, you could do lockdown defender, and that's all well and good. But look, this is a Jordan build, guys. You're going to do a slasher. You just are. There's no other way around it. Now, if you look, you've got a two-way finisher, okay? And then if we look over to the left, shades of Clyde Drexler. Now, while I'm not saying it at all that Drexler was on Jordan's level, because he certainly wasn't, but in the early '90s, a lot of people compared Clyde and Jordan's game, and they said they were very similar, and that Drexler was potentially as good as Jordan, and again that ruined that '92 Portland team. That just ruined their chances of winning that championship, because that pushed Michael Jordan to show the world that no, Drexler is not on my level. So it's just crazy to me that mentality that Jordan had, and Kobe had it too. Where they would take that slightest little thing that was said about them, and they would use that to fuel them and push them even harder. Even though they were already great players, it just pushed them, to be even better. I'm going to show you. I know you think that I'm the greatest, but the fact that you even think that you're on my level, I'm going to prove you wrong. And that, guys, that's what set him apart from everybody. It wasn't just his ability, it was that mentality. When people call Jordan a killer, it's because he was just a killer. I mean, he would just, he strangled the life out of you. He took any chance you had of winning away. So, that's to me what made Jordan the greatest. Now, we've got 25 finishing badges to work with, guys. Okay, look, we're going acrobat. We're going this on silver. Limitless takeoff, that's going to be Hall of Fame. Posterizer, Hall of Fame. Fearless finisher, Hall of Fame. Rise up, we're going to put that on gold. Slithery finisher, I'm going to put that on bronze, just for it to be there. And if we look at what else we've got here, guys, we'll put that on there. We'll put that at gold too. So let's just kind of step back and look at this, okay? Actually, you know what? I'm going to put that here, and I'm going to put that there. I'm going to pull this down, and I'm going to put that there. Yeah, I think that's more or less the way I'm going to go with it, guys. So we've got acrobat, limitless takeoff, fearless finisher, and posterizer, Hall of Fame. Fast twitch, grace under pressure, post spin technician, and rise up are all on silver. And then we've got, for the one bronze badge, we've got slithery finisher. I think that's a pretty good badge layout for Michael Jordan, guys. I really do. So let's go ahead. Let's look at these 5 shooting badges that we have, okay? First thing, fade ace. That's going up, okay? We got to. Then we're just going to put this and this both on bronze. So fade ace is gold. Hot zone hunter, bronze. Slippery off ball, bronze, okay? Jordan could hit the fade. You want to be able to have that on gold because you want to be able to expand that ability as much as possible. Hot zone hunter, because you're going to get those hot zones from those fadeaways, and that's going to improve that ability even more. And you just want slippery off ball, guys. Look, you're a slasher. You want to be able to move and be, unrestricted as much as possible when you're moving without the ball. So you need that slippery off ball. It's going to help you out a lot. So let's go ahead and the 10 playmaking badges. Now this is where you could go a lot of different ways, guys. A lot of different ways. Okay. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to I'm going to put unpluckable on silver. I'm going to put triple threat on silver. Okay. Then looking at what we have, quick first step, that's going on gold for sure. And then looking at the other things that we have here, I'm going to do this, and this. I think that's a pretty good layout. I mean, like I said, there's countless ways that you can go with this, guys. But this is the way that I'm going with it, and just to kind of give you a rundown, we got quick first step on gold, triple threat and unpluckable on silver, and then we got 3 bronze badges, which are hyperdrive, bullet passer, and downhill. Okay? And now we come to our defensive badges, okay? So, Jordan, you're going to want clamps on gold. You're going to want interceptor on gold. You're going to want intimidator on gold. Okay, so right away we use 9 number 12 badges, and then we're just looking at the other things that we can use here. Okay, I'm not really sure how effective this is because I've not used it yet, so I'm just going to put that on bronze, and I'm going to go ahead and put this on on silver. So badge layout here, guys, we got 3 gold, which is clamps, interceptor, and intimidator. Because anybody that knows Jordan, look, he played those passing lanes, so you want that on gold. Hustler, we're going to put that on silver because he did hustle. I mean, he played really hard on defense. And then we're going to do ball stripper, even though I've not really used this badge, so I don't know how effective it is. But it just basically raises your ability to strip the opponent if they're trying to drive to the basket or get around you or anything like that. So, I think you could go with that, or you could go with pickpocket. Either way, but I'm going to go with this one just because, like I said, I haven't used that badge, so I just going to do that. But there you have it, guys. I mean, for the first 3-peat Michael Jordan build, I think it's a really good build. I think it's a pretty solid build. I have used this build. I played with it some. It is a fun build to play with, especially if you're a guy like me that you enjoy driving to the basket and getting those dunks and things. I mean, it's so much fun. But with that, guys, look, if you're someone that you do 2K builds and you like those legends of the game, I'm talking about like the players from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and you want to see builds on them to kind of give you ideas of, what you may do builds on next, then, hey, this is the right channel for you. And if you're someone that's younger that may not have seen some of these guys play, I mean, look, guys, some of the builds that I've already done, Bill Walton, which a lot of people probably do not know about, outside of his commentary, and Kevin Mchale, another player that a lot of people probably have never heard of or don't really know a whole lot about, except that he was the GM for the Timberwolves for a little while, and but look, you know, both of those guys, their basketball career, they've been overlooked a lot. I mean, Kevin McHale, he's up there. When you mention the greatest power forwards of all time, I'm talking, Timmy, I'm talking about Barkley, KG, Dirk, Malone. You've got to mention McHale in there, guys, because I'm telling you, while all those guys was great, their post work was nowhere near Kevin McHale's. And had Walton not gotten injured, I think he would have easily been a top 5 center all time, guys. He was that good. So if you want to hear a little bit more about those guys, I mean, just watch the videos that I've done on them. I talk about them more in depth. But yeah, guys, I mean, if you like players like that, or if maybe you're a younger person and you may not have watched those guys play the game, you want to kind of see, what kind of builds they would be and things like that, I would definitely recommend subscribing to this channel, guys, because that's literally all I'm going to be doing. And if nothing else, guys, I mean, look, if some of those lesser known greats, if I get you watching some of their YouTube highlights or something, that's great. Because I'm the type of person that, I want the younger generation to kind of see those greats from the past, and then they may get a better understanding of why us old heads, why we defend certain guys the way that we do. Jordan being one of them. But with that being said, guys, look, if you enjoyed today's video, I would greatly appreciate you leaving a like. And hey, in that little comment section down there, let me know some of the legends you would like to see me build. I mean, I don't care, who it is. I've got some thoughts going on, guys. But look, you guys are the ones that's watching these videos. So if there's something you would like to see, I'm more than happy to do that. And the less well known, the better for me, because I want them to be a great player, but there are a lot of greats out there that have just been forgotten over time, and I'm just trying to bring them back into the consciousness of the guys that watch the NBA, play these play 2K and things like that. That way they can kind of see that there were so many greats out there in basketball over the centuries, or over the decades, I should say. So with guys, if you've watched this video all the way through, I really, really do appreciate it. It means the world to me that there are people that would even take time to watch these videos. and it's just something that I enjoy. And also, guys, let me know in the comments below. I mean, because I'm thinking about, I like to talk basketball. So I'm thinking, maybe while I'm playing the game, or maybe I'll just do a sim in the background, and you can watch the simulation while I'm talking about, maybe certain players from the past, because we have these great decades teams. Thinking about maybe doing something like that. I don't know how popular it would be, uh, but I'm one of those guys that I love talking about the game of basketball. And in all aspects, guys. I'm not just the legends of the game. I mean, I'll talk about guys like Luca and LeBron and Durant, Steph, guys, guys that are playing today. I'll talk about those guys too. Don't think I won't. I mean, it's just I'm an old head, guys. I like those legends, and they just kind of because they got me into watching this game, this great game that is the basketball. Um, I respect them a little bit more than I do other players. That doesn't mean that I hate players like LeBron or anything like that. It's just it's that nostalgia, right? I mean, it takes us back to when we were young, when we were just first picking up that basketball, and you know, guys, I don't want to get on a big ramble about that. I just let me know in the comments below if that would be something that you would be interested in, kind of as a a side thing outside of these builds, because it's something that I think I would enjoy doing. I just want to make sure that you, as the viewer, would enjoy seeing something like that. But again, guys, I really do appreciate you taking time to watch this video, and have a wonderful evening, night, day, wherever you are. Have a good one.